on time today.
Starting on time.
I don't know.
I'm giggling because my shirt, I don't think is on correctly. Like it's crisscrossed wrong in the back, but I didn't want to take time to figure it out because I wanted to be on time for the episode and I only had like 2 minutes left. So
I love this podcast. It's changing lives. It's changing lives.
Screw it. No one can see the back of my shirt. They're not going to know it's all knotted up in the back.
Changing lives, this podcast.
What they will know is he will not bitch about me being late on camera.
See, that is changing lives. When others are watching, things get changed. I love it. I love it.
Hi, welcome. We're both on time.
Yes, we are both on time. We're very happy to be here. I had a great weekend in San Francisco, and I'm proud to tell people that it was not as gross.
I was going to say, you and I haven't even had a chance to talk about San Francisco at all. All I know is that you texted me that you had amazing Chinese food or Thai food or something. What was it?
Mother fuck you in the face. Fucking believable fucking fuck. I have never, ever had Chinese food like this.
What did you order? What was it?
And I know
Did you take a picture of it?
Rick is going to nerd out. He's going to nerd out. The restaurant was a location, Rick, where they filmed The Matrix.
Wow.
They filmed in the restaurant?
In the restaurant. And
what scene
it's
do you
called
know?
the Man King is the name of the restaurant. I think Man King.
Yeah.
Brenton Biddlecombe was with me, and he
was he the one that told you about it? We got to go eat here.
Yeah. When he toured with Pauly Shore, that's where Pauly goes. Like it's a very famous place, but I mean, it felt very mom and pop. Very tight, right? I mean, San Francisco is kind of like New York, where things are
small. They cram the tables in there.
Small, and they don't have much storage, right? So there's stuff like boxes on the walls and food crates, and did you find it, Rick?
I think so. Is it Nanking?
Nanking.
N-A-N?
Oh my! I can't even begin to tell you, Renee.
Is it a Michelin restaurant?
I don't
Rick,
know,
or is it just like
holy moly,
hole in the wall?
Unfreaking believable. Best Chinese food I've ever had in my life.
Wait, you didn't tell me. What did you order?
Everything. Everything.
That's why you didn't answer the question.
We ordered everything. And I was like, I want to try that, and I want to try that. And I mean, everything was just better than the next. And I mean, it was just, it reminded me of like when you go to Vegas and you sit down at a very expensive, like MGM had that very high-end Chinese restaurant. Do you remember?
Yes. Yeah. The Pearl or something it was
called. Me and you
I
ate
think.
in there, and we were like, oh my God, this is really good. That's how this was. I mean, it was, I can't even begin to tell you how incredible it was.
Yeah.
We got there a little early because I was trying to plan it so that I could watch Garrett's baseball game.
While you were at the restaurant?
Yeah, so I was like, when I got there, I'm like, well, there's not that many people here, and because it was like 11:30, I'm like, man, Brenton's saying this place is delicious, but I don't know. By the time we walked out of there, there was a literal line around the building. There was probably 50 people waiting to get in there.
Wow. So people know it's the spot.
Renee, it's punch your mom on the face good. Like, I can't explain it.
Yeah.
But it was, we had the peanut sauce. It was free. The only thing that was a little, they had like a house soup that they give you, kind of like a Mexican restaurant where they automatically bring you
chips and salsa.
They bring out this like boiling pot, like right when you get there. And it's a very strong taste.
Oh, okay. I thought it was like just with the water down.
The way I would describe it is like, it's probably one of those foods as a Chinese kid that you had, and then you're like, but then it's like comfort food now to them. Where it's like, oh, we ate this at home.
Or it's like in Australia, it's like Vegemite. Have you ever had Vegemite?
Nuh-uh.
So it's like You think because it's such a dark color, you're like, oh, maybe this is kind of like Nutella-ish. It's a spread that you put on, but it's called Vegemite, and it is such a strong, harsh flavor. But Australians are like our Vegemite.
But I did walk around and hang out a little bit. No homeless in the area that I was at.
Really?
No homeless. It felt very clean.
Yeah.
At one point, we're driving to eat or somewhere, and they had workers that were literally power washing the streets. Like they were power washing the sidewalks and cleaning and but then somebody said I guess they got a new mayor, and the new mayor is like really
making an effort to clean things up.
Trying to make an effort to clean things up. But it was great experience. I was never I didn't see like human feces like I did last time.
Yeah.
But again, I really didn't go into the city. I was kind of in the Fisherman's Wharf.
Well, that's part of Fisherman's Wharf is part of the city, isn't it?
Yeah, but not like in the buildings.
Downtown.
Yeah. But yeah, it was great. I mean, great shows. We're at Cobb's. This guy that works there, huge comedy fan, but he's also like a baseball collector. So he made a Steve Trevino baseball card, which is really cool that he gave me.
Oh, you should have bought it.
And then his friend does these really cool illustrations of what he thinks baseball cards should be. So he made one of Nolan Ryan, and he gave it to Garrett. So
I saw it, but it's like when Nolan Ryan got in a fight, right? Because on the card he's like bleeding. It was. It's cool.
Well, no. So that one when he was bleeding, I want to say it was Bo Jackson. Bo Jackson hit the ball and hit him in the face, and he got the ball and played, and then he never got out. Like he stayed there,
stayed in the game bleeding.
Yep. Oh, hold on.
It was really cool. So I didn't realize that was something an artist had drawn. It's not an actual card.
No, it's not an actual card.
It's their artistic work. That's cool. It was really cool looking. I'm bummed we don't have it to show people.
Keep talking.
I also saw a really cool picture of you shared on your social media, like you under the Cobb's Comedy Club sign with your Cobb's Comedy Club sweatshirt. Which seems kind of cliche, but like when you're at Cobb's and you're on the street in San Francisco like that, I thought it was a really cool picture.
Cobb's is one of those comedy clubs that me as a comedian and most comedians, you go, God, I just want to work Cobb's.
Yeah.
Like, that's that one of the San Francisco Punch, right?
Yeah.
Punchline. And to actually be able to do that club and sell it out, which we did on Saturday. We sold it out.
Yeah.
Did very well on Friday. Sunday was the whole bottom floor was pretty much sold out.
It's a 2-story club.
So, yeah, but there's just a small balcony. I mean, once you get the whole bottom, it's like a single seat balcony on the side. But it used to be a music venue. So it has like a real green room and a real load in.
I know I've done San Francisco with you, but I don't think I've ever been in that club. I don't remember it.
I don't know if we did Cobb's.
Yeah.
When you, I think we might have been at the Punchline.
The Punchline.
We were at the Punchline.
Yeah.
But I mean, awesome. They treated me great. Shows were great. One of the Sunday, a guy in the front row got very, very emotional when I started talking about veterans.
At the end?
At the end. And I said, are you okay? And he was like, man, he's like, well, at first I walk on stage and I say, hey, let's all remember why we have a day off tomorrow. It's because of, the men and women who have given all, which means they gave their life for this country. Mm-hmm. They should be remembered. And we should also remember those families that are missing those people, right? And then I did my show. And then afterwards, so the guy in the front row is kind of, tearing up and he was like, I just want to thank you for, mentioning that,
Yeah, remembering what Memorial Day is about.
Remember what Memorial Day is about. And I said, well, you know what? Let's do something fun. Let's all do the national anthem. The Pledge of Allegiance, right? Uh-huh. So everybody stands up, and then this group of people were like, this is ridiculous, and I didn't come here for this political bullshit. And I go, loving your country is not political. But they left, and the whole crowd clapped, and then we did.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
It was kind of a bummer, but great weekend.
Yeah.
It was.
I'm still sort of stuck there. I'm sorry. It's hard to It's hard. It's the Pledge of Allegiance. Like it is. It's just bright. It's not like you said, let's sing a biblical song or,
I don't know. Look, I don't want to get into politics,
religion.
but it was kind of bittersweet for me because normally I don't do Sundays.
Yeah.
Right. But we did the Sunday because we knew that we would sell tickets and
Holiday
weekend.
Yeah.
But I had to miss Garrett's last tournament.
Well, I was going to say, I'm bummed that we couldn't go with you to experience San Francisco because Delilah's never seen San Francisco. And Garrett was so little when he did it. I mean, I think it would have been a really cool city to take them to. And I'm just bummed that calendar-wise, it didn't work out that way.
Yeah, I was just bummed that I had to miss the game.
The last baseball tournament.
I mean, luckily, of course, with modern technology, I'm able to watch.
Yeah.
Right. So that helped. But Garrett had a very good tournament, and it was fun to watch. But it was funny because Brenton, he likes sports, and he has a daughter, and I hadn't really caught up with him in a while. His daughter's only 9 months. He's like, man, Garrett, your son plays baseball. I'm like, yeah. He's like, dude, that's really cool. And
did we say Britton was your opening act this weekend? So people know. Yeah.
And he was like, man, I hope my daughter plays softball. And so then Saturday we eat, and then I'm like, I gotta go. Garrett's game's about to start. Like, I gotta haul ass. Like, I want to be in a place where I can just watch the game. And I have my little tablet with me, so I'm in the Uber as the game's starting, and we're getting there, and then later on, Brenton calls, and he's like, hey, man, you want to hang out? I'm going to go do whatever. I'm like, no, I got another game to watch, And he was like, okay, this was Saturday, right? So then Sunday, he was like, hey, you want to do lunch again? Which we did a Korean barbecue, but the Korean barbecue, you know how they have the grills in the middle of the table?
Yeah.
They had actual coals. It wasn't like spark up the
propane tank.
Yeah, they bring out like a little bucket of coals, and they put it in there for you, and you're cooking on like real coals, which was really cool. But I have the tablet open, and I'm eating. I'm watching Garrett. And I'm eating. And
Brendan's like, God, you're great company.
Well, Brendan's like, oh, another game. I'm like, yeah, and he's watching with me,
Yeah.
And then I'm like, man, I gotta go. He's got another game, right? So then we go and watch another game, and then we get to the club Sunday, and I open up the thing, and he was like, another game? I go, yeah. And he goes, dude, your whole fucking Saturday and Sunday is games? I go, yeah. He goes, I don't know if I want to play softball. He's like, dude, I can't believe you're still watching games. I'm like,
the kids are still playing.
Yes.
The 9-year-olds are still playing. Yeah, it turned into 2 very, very long days.
Well, I thought because, and I don't know.
think he's ever played that late before.
Well, usually, I guess we weren't 1 seed or whatever, but usually if you're the 1 seed, you play 1 game, then the championship.
Well, no, not if it's a big tournament with a lot of teams. This is not the first time that
so we played
it's turned out
3
that way.
games instead of 2.
Yeah.
So that second game, I'm like, I think we just won the championship. And I'm like, oh shit, there's another game.
Yeah.
But it was just funny that Brenton was like, dude, your whole Saturday, Sunday was you watching your kid play. I go, yeah. And Renee has to be out there all day, all the time.
Yeah.
So then we came home, hauled ass home. We decided to do our end of the year baseball party here at the house. I mean, you were here.
I mean, no, I know. It was fun. It was good. It was fun.
Good group of parents.
Yeah.
Good group of kids.
I mean, the boys won the championship this weekend, which we didn't say.
Which helped. Yeah.
So it made yesterday really sweet and fun. Everyone was really excited to get together and celebrate not just a great weekend of baseball, but a great baseball season.
Well,
and because we spent our holiday weekend at the baseball field, because the games were running I think Saturday the games were 3 hours behind, so you're literally all there sitting.
Renee needs to manage these tournaments. She was calling me going, these fucking idiots, they have it scheduled an hour and a half and then an hour and a half. He's like, but the games are an hour and a half. They didn't put any time in there for
one team to get out the field, clear out the dugout. It takes 10 minutes just to get those boys to grab all their crap out of the dugout and get off the field.
And then you got to warm up, and then so Renee's like, we're never going to be on time. Look at this schedule. Who fucking did this? What idiot? What moron would do this?
This schedule is not realistic. I said, Steve, do not believe these game times. They're not going to run like this. And you were like, okay, Well, guess what? Sure enough, I knew.
Well, it sucked for me because I'm in limbo. Like I'm waiting. I don't want to be somewhere where I can't watch the game. So I'm in this limbo of like, well, when's it going to start? What's going on?
Yeah, planning your day around what time to get. That's why I was trying to help you out, Boo. I was trying to tell you I know it's not going to go down like that.
But I got home, had a great party last night, and I think everybody let loose last night.
That's what I'm saying. It's because we spent so much of our weekend at the baseball field.
And it's the first week of summer.
Yes, I think everyone needed a good hang.
Oh, the party didn't finish last night till 1 a.m. And everybody got here at 5. And it was cool. I enjoyed it. I love sharing my home. I love seeing people enjoy. I love watching people hang out. And I mean, we had like 5 different parties going on.
Well, we
had a group outside that was playing left, right, center that I was in because there was some gambling involved. That I was over there. And then
gambling with some minors.
And then Renee and some moms and a couple of the dads and a coach, they're like having their own little party and, sitting down in the table. Then the kids are inside because it stormed last night. The kids are now inside having their own little party in the game room. And then there's a whole nother party going on at my bar, right? And I'm just like, I get a bird's eye view because I'm in that outside area where I can look into all those rooms from our patio. And I just had this big smile on my face of like, we have such a great home and it's such a good entertaining home or to entertain. And then to watch everything going down and all these little separate parties, that I was a little jealous, Brian. Like I'd walk in to go get another drink and Renee's...
We were laughing, having a good time.
I'm like, whoa, I'm telling stories too. I got stories. I can add jokes. I can make people laugh. But man, we went till like 1 a.m. I polished off a bottle of Crown 31.
Well, Betty bought me. Oh gosh, and I don't know what kind it is, but there's this delicious.
Oh, it's garbage.
No, it's garbage. I'm not a whiskey drinker, but Rick, it was this like
whiskey.
Pecan praline coconut whiskey, and I just thank you, Rick. I sipped on it. I just sipped on it.
Oh.
Some of the mamas took shots.
Tastes
I don't
like
have
breakfast.
that in me. No, it doesn't. You know
Dude,
what?
Then the bottle's sticky. You know what I mean? Like it's just not my speed. Have you had it, Rick?
Yeah, it's the first place I had it was at your premiere.
No, not the. No, you're talking about.
This is a different brand, but the same idea.
Like Rebecca Creek, yeah.
Yeah, but the same idea. But people liked it, babe, because the bottle's got about this much left in it. They were taking shots. It actually tastes good.
I mean, I get it for a shot. Like it's like peanut butter,
sweet cream, coffee creamer,
on
ice.
And of course, Miss Betty's over there. Miss Betty stayed with us this weekend, so she's over there just like, try my praline and getting everybody fucking hammered. Love Miss Betty for that. But it was a good time, and I really enjoyed our company. And
I did too. It was nice. We usually entertain in the barn. I think this is the first time in a very long time.
Then Renee allowed people in our home.
Well, hush your mouth. No, I think the last time we did it was like a neighborhood Christmas party when we first moved into this house. But I was just so glad the rain stayed away.
The rain stayed away
the kids
long
got to get
enough
in the
for
pool.
us to pretty much have a pool party and hang out. And dude, Rick, there's this game that I had no idea it was going to be such a hit. I mean, even the adults were all over it.
Were they really? I didn't see adults playing it.
All the dads were playing it.
Yeah.
Like, it's giant golf balls, golf game. So it comes with these big old clubs, and then you're basically hitting a wiffle ball, and then you have to chip it into like a little bucket.
You know what the bucket?
They call
looks
it
like
bucket golf. Is what it's called.
The collapsible laundry baskets that like kids take to college that like pop open.
Yeah, no, but so you set up these holes,
but short versions of them,
and you play against each other like real golf, but it's way easier and super fun. But like dads are like out there like literally walking the course because there's like I made 3 holes in the backyard. Yeah, that's it right there, Rick. It's pretty freaking cool, man. It was fun.
I'll have to share an Amazon link in my Instagram
I think you and the
stories.
boys would really like to play it. That's it. Yeah. I think you and the boys would really enjoy it. Or just people in general. I mean, I set up the holes and like all these. I turned around.
The kids were loving it.
They're playing each other. These dads, they're trying to get it in there. And
okay, but I'm looking at our Amazon cart, and you ordered multiple clubs. So does it not come with the clubs? You have to order them separately.
Remember, our boy Cooper, he's a lefty, so I needed a lefty club and Kinder. and kinder. So I needed
Okay.
a lefty club.
So it's $50, but does the set come with clubs? No, you
one-
buy them. It looks like you have to buy them
I
separately.
bought one set. Well, I bought them separate because I needed a left and a right. But to be honest with you, the only thing that sucked is I wish I had another right-handed club, so that when you're playing somebody, you don't have to hand the club off.
More kids can play.
You just carry your club with you. So what we would do is I'd have to hand the club to the next guy, for him to hit. But it was Rick. I think you'd enjoy it, man. I mean, it was a lot of fun. You can set it up in your backyard. I might get more holes and do a whole course out here.
Well, so it shows. It's like you can get a 3 set, a 6 set, or I forget what else there was.
And I just got the 3 set because I wanted to give the kids a little
Junior
competition
kids, adults.
while they were here, and I had no idea it was going to be that big of a
hit. Yeah,
hit with everybody. So it was fun. I won.
I was just so glad the rain stayed away. I think the storm rolled in closer to 9? Was it between 8 and 9?
About 9 o'clock. I mean, it was a real storm. I mean, it was.
With the kids ended up, you know what? It must have been about 8 because it wasn't quite dark yet. But the kids, we had to kick them out of the pool because we started to see lightning.
Well, I got to go out there because if you look out the window, a big old branch broke and fell.
Oh,
You see it?
yeah.
Over there by Mr. Mike.
Yeah.
But great party. So happy to have everybody, and it's kind of bittersweet because I'm ready to not have to go to baseball, right? But I'm also bummed out that I don't have to go to baseball.
Yeah.
It's hard to, like today's the first day of summer, and we're just kind of like we're just looking at each other like.
Well, no, there's stuff to do. We have to let people know because people were asking after last week's episode, what happened with the goat? We have a new baby goat.
Yes, we do.
And it's very, very cute.
Same goat.
No, we lost our goat. It has a new name.
Yeah, unfortunately, I did take it to the vet. We did get it medicine. We started it on its medicine, and it was just not going to happen for that poor goat. But we did the right thing. If you're gonna have a pet, you should do the right thing, right? It wasn't one of those deals where like, okay, screw it, send them off to pasture.
Yeah.
No, we took it to the vet and saw the vet and got some medicine and tried to, but I mean, it worked out great because, once they get worms, then the other goat would have died had I not gone
and gotten medicine
and
for
got
that
medicine
one.
for the other one. Because the vet was like, well, go ahead and give this medicine to the other goat because I'm more than sure that it also has worms.
Yeah.
Right. And he said sometimes, they get them, and we probably got the goats.
Yeah, I was going to say now in retrospect, the kids and I were talking about, we think, Garrett's like, Mom, do you think maybe the goat was sick when we got it? Because that one was slow. It was
docile,
we could catch it. It was so much sweeter. It just
could
let
care
us
less.
do
Yeah, it'll be like,
whatever whatever the kids
look,
wanted
lady,
with it.
pet me, I'm dying. Okay. I got worms, bitch. Just I don't know if goats talk like that. Like they've been smoking a pack of cigarettes.
Our goats are female goats.
Well, you ever been to a Waffle House? Yeah. Those waitresses are females too, and they talk like this. Yeah. What do you have in there? What are you smoking while they're talking to you?
But you know what, Garrett? I had to tell you. Garrett asked me. He said, "Mom, can we, if something happens to another one of our animals, can we do like a pet cemetery?
No.
In the back? No.
No, so I got to dig through these damn rocks.
Well, I told him, I said, let's talk to Dad about it. And he was like, or can we even do a little headstone? I said, you can go pick a rock and paint whatever you want on it for the animal and put it back there.
Well, no, we're not doing that.
Why not?
It's a pain in the ass.
I thought that was really sweet.
No, we just feed the buzzards.
Oh, Steve Trevino.
Feed the buzzards.
I thought it was really sweet.
Well, this week is interesting. It's kind of a limbo week. Rick, I am honored. Tomorrow night, I get to do the heartbeat of the MLS soccer team in Austin.
I don't know what that is. Rick apparently knows because he just goes,
That's awesome.
Do you want to come?
When is it?
Tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's do it. Let me check the calendar and make sure it's tomorrow.
I think I saw it on there. I'm pretty sure it is. Because I didn't know what it is. I was like, what does this mean? What is this on the calendar?
Yeah, it's tomorrow. Austin, Q2 Stadium, the heartbeat confirmation. So that's what. So in, like in baseball, they have the ceremonial first pitch.
Yeah.
For this, you come out and you bang a
What
drum.
is this?
For the soccer team.
For the soccer team. Okay.
Yeah, you come out and you bang a drum, and you get the crowd started. And I forget who I'm doing it with, but there's a couple other cool people.
So multiple people do it.
I don't know. There's gonna be a bunch of cool people that are gonna be there.
I didn't. So soccer. Austin has a professional soccer team. Catch me up.
Yes.
I didn't know this.
Owned by part owned by Matthew McConaughey.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Very cool.
I gotta find the text, but I'm very excited about it, and I think it's gonna be really cool.
Yeah.
Yep, I'm excited.
Rick, are any of your boys into soccer?
No, not really.
Yeah.
Have you ever been to a soccer game, Renee?
I haven't. Steve was like, do you want to go? Should I just take Garrett? Should we take Delilah? I don't know. I've never been to a soccer game, so I don't know what that experience is or if Delilah will find it cool or hang.
Adrian Cusera from Grupo Frontera will also be there. And the Black Plums is doing the national anthem on guitar. I don't know who the Black Plums are, but they got to be awesome. So I'm very excited. Isn't that cool?
That's cool.
I think it is too.
Rick, have you been to a professional soccer game?
Yeah, and it's amazing, especially in Austin.
It's wild,
Yeah?
right? It's wild.
Is it take Delilah, your 4-year-old daughter, or no?
There's a lot to do there. They built the stadium right, so even if you're not into soccer, they have a bunch of things you can go around and look at and stuff. So yeah.
Okay.
You're more than welcome to come. I got to get tickets, but
Yeah.
Timmy's on the horn right now trying to get our ticket situated. But I'm excited about it. I think it's gonna be super cool. And then I got to figure out. I'm a little anxious because we're leaving for London
For Europe.
on Sunday.
On Sunday.
Yeah, London is in Europe.
Well, no, but I
leaving.
mean, we're not just doing London. We're doing lots of other cities.
I'm just anxious about it. It's I don't know. I'm just anxious.
About being on a plane that long, about being away from home. What
Being away from home? Are they gonna like me? Are they not gonna like me? You know, I've never.
I was gonna say anxiety is the fear of something. So what is it that you are fearful of?
Am I gonna have to change my material, or is my material gonna work, or are people even gonna care that I'm there? I mean, I'm nervous about it. I'm being honest. I'm very anxious about it.
Yeah, you
Very
think it's
anxious.
gonna? I mean, you were so well received in Canada. Do you think it's gonna be that much different?
Well, I don't know. I mean, Canada's so similar to the U.S. though.
Right.
They're like right there.
Yeah.
Like Brian, when you came to the U.S. as a Canadian, there was very few culture shocks, right?
We also know about each other so much.
That's what I mean. Yeah.
Canada knows a lot about the States, and the States knows a lot about Canada. So.
Yeah.
I am very excited because I love old architecture. I love history. I love, I don't know. There's something great about being able to go, I've seen that.
Yeah.
Like San Francisco, for example. I know that city. I've seen it. I've seen the pointy building. I've seen the Golden Gate Bridge, like with my own eyes, right?
The pointy building.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We all know what I mean. But there's something great about being able to say, I have seen that.
Yeah.
Right? I've done that. I've been there. I'm just anxious about, number one, the travel,
Yeah.
being on a plane that long. And then if they're going to like me. I don't know if they're going to like me.
Oh, I think they're gonna love you. I think you're gonna be pleasantly surprised.
And I'm trying to think in my head, like, I wonder if there's any references that I make in my act that I'm like, are they going to get that reference? But I mean, for me, I'm pretty much family. So it's not like,
it's relatable. It's relationship based. I don't think relationships are the same no matter what country you're in, right? The dynamic.
I mean, I hope, I know that, Gabriel Iglesias, Fluffy, was just there, and he was, well, not only was he did Europe, but he also did the Middle East.
Yeah.
And he was like, man, he's like, I was surprised to find out that they just love me just like the States, and I didn't have to change anything. So I'm hoping. I'm still anxious. I'm still anxious.
Yeah.
And we're doing it as an entire family.
We're taking the whole family. Okay, so we're doing Because we've never been to any of these places. If anyone has suggestions or things we should do with kids, please send them to me. Send me a message on Instagram. But we're doing, we start in Oslo, Norway. Then we go to Hamburg, Germany, Stockholm, Sweden, Copenhagen, Denmark, Amsterdam, and then we end in London. And it's literally almost like a day in each place. So we kind of have to, this week I'm going to do my research. So I make sure we pack appropriately so that we're doing like one thing with the kids in each
that
city.
makes me anxious too is like, oh crap, it's like show, wake up, get on a plane, show, wake up, get on. I mean, that's a lot of traveling for all of us.
Yeah.
So I'm very, we're doing well ticket wise.
Yeah.
You know, I'm encouraged by that, you know, and I have had people reach out via Instagram or Facebook or whatever saying, oh my God, we're so excited, or I'm bringing my wife, or man, we're on holiday when you're in town. We're bummed out that we're going to miss it. So the response is been very, very good. But, you know, what I do is what I will say this, and I get this question quite often, and I'm sure Brian has heard this as well, where people say, oh, do you change your act depending on where you're at? Mm-hmm. Right? I've never had to do that.
You don't have, I was going to say, you don't have to.
I've never, whether I'm in LA, which is one of the biggest cities in America, or I'm in Canada, or I'm in New York, or I'm in middle of America, some small town, my act's the same. And it gets the same. And that's what's beautiful about human beings.
Yeah.
Is no matter where I perform it, the laughs come at the same time. They laugh at the same time, at the same things, right? And I love that people come up to me and go, oh my God, your wife's like my wife.
Yeah.
Right? So there's also this kind of sense of we're all the same.
Well, that's what I was saying. Relationship dynamics are all very similar.
But we're all the same, right?
Yeah.
And the fact that like on cue, you know, when Brian and I start really dialing down a special, on cue, Brian can literally go, they're going to laugh right here. When he says this, they're going to laugh. When he says this, they're going to be quiet. When he, you know, but it doesn't matter where I go in the world.
It's the same
Right?
response.
Well, we're going to find out the world.
Yeah.
The country.
Yeah.
So America's not the world.
Yeah.
The United States, but we shall see.
Rick, have you ever been to any of those cities?
Nope.
Have you been overseas to Europe?
Yes.
Oh, you say that reluctantly.
Well, I'm an idiot, so I got to figure out what's in Europe.
Well, I'm excited about it, and people are really loving the questions, Rick. So I will let you fire away with a couple of questions. I
saw that comment. They said we like the questions at the end. It's fun.
So we'll do a couple of those here as we.
And then we got to figure out what we're going to do because we're going to be gone for not quite 2 weeks, but yeah. So we'll have 2 episodes where we don't podcast. So we got to decide what we want to do. Do we want to do an episode before we leave at the end of this week?
I think we should.
So there's something.
I don't want to miss 2 weeks.
That way we just miss one. And then we'll just make sure we share a lot on our social media and people can catch up with us there while we're traveling.
You share a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm going to do my best, but I'm very anxious about it and nervous. So we shall see. Go ahead, Mr. Rick. Fire away.
All right. Here's a comedy question for you. You always hear people say it was a good crowd or a bad crowd. How, as a comedian, do you know if it's a good crowd or a bad crowd? Obviously, the laughing, but what makes a good crowd or a bad crowd?
I already feel like I know how you're going to answer this question, so I'm curious to hear you
ahead,
answer it. Huh?
Let me hear it.
I would think you're going to say something along the lines of there are no good crowds or bad crowds. There's bad comedians.
Yes, 100%.
Yeah?
Yep,
Did I get it?
100%. Now, I will tell you this. There are crowds that you have to work harder, but the problem is a lot of comedians, they're not willing to work harder.
Yeah.
Right? They don't want to work harder.
Yeah.
And a lot of times, you know, there's a reason notoriously, Friday second shows are usually a nightmare. And the reason that those Friday second shows are a nightmare is because you have a couple or people that worked all week. They worked all day Friday. They rushed home. They couldn't get the first show. They wanted the first show.
Right.
But the Friday's the only day they can make it work. So they take the second show. And like me and you're exhausted.
Yeah.
They're tired. Or they get drunk faster because they're tired.
Yeah.
Or they're like, screw it, I need a drink.
Waiting for that second show.
Yeah, and they're drinking a little heavier, and they're tired, and they're annoyed, and they're grumpy to be there. But as a comedian, it is our job to walk in there, acknowledge that, and work through it to then get them to have a good time.
Yeah.
A lot of comedians have attitudes, and they have this attitude of like, well, fuck them, right? I'm not gonna. Why should I have to work hard to get them to enjoy? And that's what's so important about a good opening act.
Oh, for sure. For setting the room.
For setting the room.
Yeah.
I mean,
because they could have a bad experience with the door guy, or something could have not been right at the ticket booth, or whatever you want to call it. Call.
Yeah, the opening act's a pro opening act, which is why. And I don't know if you know this, Rick. Brian knows this. In Canada, the headliner is the host.
What do you like? The kind of the way Brad Garrett does it is at his club. You mean?
They want the best comedian up front because the best comedian has these skills to
take charge of the room.
Identify a room that's having trouble and set the tone. Was it like that when you were coming up, Brian?
Well, there was the host, and then the middle, and then the headliner. And so the host would go up first, do like 15, bring on the middle, and then would do 5 in between the middle.
But the host was really a skilled host.
The host, in order, headliner made the most, the host made the second most, and the middle made the
least.
Yeah.
See, that's what I'm saying, right?
Yeah.
So what Brian just said, Rick, is basically the host makes more than the middle. And does more time.
They're more skilled act.
They're more skilled, right? Because there are tricks. There are tricks, and there are things that you need to do to get a room going.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, that's why when I do theaters and I take somebody like Johnny Sanchez, who's a headliner and a monster comic, I mean, there are times where I'm listening and Johnny's having to say like, hey guys, you're out at a comedy show, right? Right? Like we're here to laugh. Let's give yourselves a round of applause. Couple of stock lines to get them back in the groove. Look at this guy. Golly, man, sorry you're here. And get the audience to understand.
Yeah.
That you're at a comedy show. So
yeah, I heard you explain to young comics sort of tips and tricks and what they have to do to loosen up the audience.
And I always tell people, and for those of you that watch this podcast that might want to be a comedian, a lot of times comics walk out there as the host. They don't even say hello.
Yeah. They don't welcome people.
They don't welcome in. And it's like, hey, dude, this is your living room. I always tell people, if you're having a party at your home and somebody that's never been to your home walks in the door, you go and you say, hey,
greet them.
Welcome to welcome. The bar's over here. Drinks are over there. My house is your house. The restroom's over here. Come on in.
Make yourself
and immediately that makes that person in this new home at a party that they don't know anybody go, oh man, well, I'm glad the host came over and said hello and introduced themselves. You got to do the same thing in stand-up.
Yeah.
You got to introduce yourself. You got to say hello. You got to welcome them. You got to turn them into a crowd. Give yourselves a round of applause for coming out. That mentally and psychologically is teaching them, oh, we clap here, right? Hey, how about the wait staff? Let's hear it for the wait staff. Oh, we clap again. I get it. So you're training the audience to become a comedy audience.
Yeah.
And it's like when I do a corporate gig and I go to the main.
Those are so hard.
But I kill them. I kill corporate gigs.
Yeah.
Because I go to the guy and I go, hey, do you want PG-13? Do you want it 18? Do you want it R?
Yeah.
And I go, my act is not filthy. I go, but I do use strong language. What words can I use? And if I have somebody at the corporate event go, man, we don't care. We want you to do what you do. Well, my trick once I walk on stage is I go, hey guys, where's the HR person? And then the HR person usually goes, right here. I go, oh, listen, bad news. I've been told I can do whatever I want by the boss. And then the boss, so then that immediately gives everybody
makes everyone comfortable
at the corporate gig go, oh, I can laugh at this.
Yeah, their buttholes don't tighten when you drop an F-bomb.
We have permission, right? So there's just little things that you do to make an audience great. And I have been in situations where I'm like, oh man, I'm having to really work, and my innate mentality is I'm gonna do whatever I can to give these people a good time. And unfortunately, all the years I've been in comedy, most comedians have the opposite attitude. Well, fuck them.
Well, because and I say this all the time, it takes a certain amount of ego to be a stand-up comic and stand up there and tell jokes. So to somehow maintain the balance of being like a humble giver, someone who cares, which you are to your core, it's hard to have both.
And then I will share with this on this question, and then we can go to the next. But there was a harsh lesson for me, and I'll never forget it. Orlando, Florida, improv. I was on stage, and I am killing. I mean, I'm killing, Brian. Rick, I am like killing. Front row, I got a dude like this.
That's all you can think about.
And all I can see is, like, it's like they put a spotlight on it, right? And I'm like, this motherfucker. And I'm trying everything. I mean, I'm pulling out all the stops, and I'm like, in my head, I'm like, I'm going to make this dude laugh, and somehow I'm going to get this guy.
You're going to give him to crack.
And then afterwards, and I was a young comic, afterwards I go, dude, what the fuck? I go, really? I did everything to try to make you laugh. I go, if you didn't like the show, man, you should have fucking left. And like, I went at him. After the show, same guy comes up to me, and I'm like, oh, fuck. And he goes, hey, man, just so you know, I really enjoyed your show. He goes, you didn't have to go after me. He goes, I'm sorry. He's like, I just don't laugh. He goes, but I really enjoyed watching your show. And I thought you were very, very funny. So it was a big lesson for me that just because somebody's not
giving you the response you want,
right, giggling and falling out of their chair, doesn't mean they're not enjoying what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So after that, I no longer, I don't ever point that person out.
Pick on people.
And I really fucked up because if I really watched, he wasn't distracted, right? He wasn't like on his phone or screwing around. I mean, he was intently watching me. And now I know there's a difference between the guy watching me like this versus the guy that's, talking to their friend or fucking off. Now that's a different situation.
Being drunk and annoying, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Gosh, where were we in Columbus, Ohio? I had those two women that we talked about that were clearly didn't give a shit and were talking and annoyed and, distracting the audience. This guy was just sitting there just, watching me.
Yeah.
And I felt terrible too because I was like, man, here I went after this dude that liked me. So it's a big lesson for me.
Yeah.
Yep. Next question, Rick? Or elaborate on that?
No, it's good. This is a parenting question. At what age do you guys have the birds and the bees conversation, and who has it with who?
Oh,
we are on the verge.
I've already teased it a little bit with Garrett. I've given him a little bit of information.
Yeah.
And it came in
with animals.
It came in the form of Dad. I can't. We should leave some of those chicken eggs and see if they hatch. And I was like, yeah, they're not gonna hatch. And he was like, well, why not? And I was like, well, they don't have a rooster.
Yeah.
And he's like, well, what does that have to do with anything? And I'm like, well, in order to have a baby, you need a male and a female. And kind of tease that a little bit. Yeah. Right?
Someone recommended, I wonder if I can find it in my Amazon cart to remember the name of it, but someone recommended a book about, and I think they make two versions of it. There's one specifically catered to girls. I bought the one. Look, I typed in sex in my Amazon order history, and the first thing, I thought it was going to help me find the title of this book. The first thing that comes up is my Selena Halloween costume.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Filth.
When you type
these
sex.
Latinas.
Okay, but the title of the book is called The Talk: 7 Lessons to Introduce Your Child to Biblical Sexuality. And it's kind of like a handbook.
Handbook? Garrett's going to learn a lot about that.
That explains things from a biblical perspective. And it talks about ways, what you're saying, to tease it and just like you start by asking questions to figure out what their current knowledge base is, and then opens up the dialogue for them to then ask you questions, and you sort of get a sense of how much they know and what they're curious about, but that it should be an ongoing conversation little by little.
I have found it very interesting to watch, Garrett kind of, as he's growing, go from this kid that really didn't have any, there was nothing like, he didn't have any crushes or embarrassments or, for example, the neighbor girl, they're like brother and sister, and she would always come over and play. She's a little older, and Garrett be in his underwear, and she'd show up, and then there was a change where I'm like, hey, Presty's coming over. I'm in my underwear. Like, I gotta go change, and then to see him like act cool around girls, where his demeanor changes, so like seeing that maturity of like,
or the awareness. I don't know that it's a maturity as much as an awareness.
Now I could tell that he has crushes on girls, or he's trying to impress a girl. Yeah. Where you're just like, dude, what are you doing right now, dude? I do it all the time. What are you talking about? I always do that, Dad. And it's like, yeah, it's a tough one.
But a mom, I mean, we are at the age, because I was talking with a mom too, and we were talking about, I think her trying to prepare her daughter for starting her period. And then I realized like they're the same grade. And I was like, so that means there are potentially girls in Garrett's class who could be, starting their period. So it's like,
we got to talk to Garrett about that. Stay away. Stay away. Fear them.
So we
anything that bleeds for a week and doesn't die is to be feared. Next question.
Renee, this is for you, and there may be a follow-up to this. Do you have any tattoos?
I don't. None.
If you were to get a tattoo,
weird piercings.
If you were to get a tattoo, what would it be of?
I don't really have an interest in tattoos. You know what? I think it's like the commitment of it. I change my clothes and my shoes and my sense of style so often.
If she could change her tattoo every week, she'd probably get one.
Yeah. If it was changeable, if I could wash it off and redo it to make it match my current my drip and the vibe I'm going for that day, then I would get one. But
I have not had time, but I'm gonna do one more tattoo.
I know they say they're addicting. Like once you get one, you just keep getting one. I don't have a desire to get a tattoo.
It's part of my personality, my tattoos. It's just kind of a kind of like a visual scars, if you will.
Yeah.
Right. And it just gives me that. I enjoy them. I like my tattoos. Yeah. I don't regret them. I don't look at them and go, oh, I wish I wouldn't have done that.
Yeah.
But it's also become a big part of my personality, I think, and who I am. I wear tank tops a lot, and I had a mom tell me, when I first started coaching the boys when they were, 3 or 4, and, she goes, oh my God, she goes, I walked up and here's this stocky dude all tatted up. And I'm like, she's thinking to herself, oh my God, that guy's going to coach my 3-year-old, and she goes, but after getting to know you, she's like, the kids love you. But it was just interesting to me.
But yours also aren't visible. It's not like you've got a tattoo on your neck,
Yeah, I've always been very conscious about if I wanted to dress up and look nice that I could. Yeah. Right.
When did you get your first one? How old were you?
18. I had just turned 18.
Yeah. See, when I was younger, I
knew I wanted a tattoo. Yeah. And my dad's rule was like, hey, dude, if you're out of my house, you can do whatever you want. Yeah. So I waited to get out of the house at 18, and I went and got a tattoo.
My mom doesn't have any. My dad doesn't have any. And then I think when I went off to college, like I wanted to be an actor, and you were taking accent reduction classes to get rid of your accent. And you were sort of learning your body and how you move in it and walk so that you could get to neutral and then create any character from there. And so I was like, I don't want a tattoo. It might not belong to every character I play. And I don't want to look down and see that on my body somewhere.
But then you got guys like Mark Wahlberg who did regret his tattoos.
Has he said that publicly?
Oh yeah, and he took them off. He lasered them off. I mean, Pete Davidson, looks so gross and dirty, and he started now getting rid of his tattoos. But like I said, I don't regret my tattoos. I don't even think about them.
Yeah.
Like, it's just, don't you think it's
Rick,
part of
do you
me?
have any tattoos?
I do not.
Yeah. But to answer your question, no, I don't think about your tattoos, and I do think they're very much a part of you. And I don't think they make you look dirty, but I don't know. I see you through my eyes.
But then, neighbor Mike is about one of the sweetest humans you ever meet. Neighbor Mike,
But his tattoos also don't make him look dirty and gross.
That's
Why
what
does
I was
Pete
about to
Davidson look
say,
so
like-
dirty and gross?
like,
He does.
Mike's a very straight-laced guy. Couldn't ask for a better neighbor.
Yeah.
Always willing to help out. Always there for us. And he has tattoos. I don't even think about him.
Yeah.
And he's got a full sleeve.
Yeah. No, I know.
And it's just.
I think you're right. I think there's some people that their tattoos wear them. And there are some people who just wear their tattoos. I don't know if that's a way to explain it, but like there's some people there you feel like their tattoos are the first thing you notice on them about their personality.
Like when me and you first met, Brian, did you look at me and go, what the fuck's up with this guy and his tattoos?
No.
Like not at all, right?
No.
Yeah. But even with women too, like I have some girlfriends who have tattoos and I don't ever think about it at all. Like it's not a thing.
Yeah. Well, somebody was telling me, they go, kids are not going to want tattoos. And I go, why? And they go, because their parents have tattoos. And kids don't want to grow up and be their parents. So they're like, dude, I'm not getting a tattoo. Because there's an evolution of tattoos, right? Tattoos were something that were very for the sailor and the prisoner and the pirate and something very, and then it became trendy and cool for everybody to have tattoos.
Yeah. In the Von Dutch days, I don't know, when was the height of tattoos?
Well,
That's
but just like you girls and the belly button ring, right? That was the tattoo of the tramp stamp.
I did have that. I did have a belly button ring.
Tell me you were a teenager in the 90s without telling me you were a teenage girl in the 90s, right?
Yeah.
You had your tramp stamp and then you had your belly button ring, right?
Yeah.
Does Gigi have any tattoos? No, right?
No.
Yeah. How would you feel, Rick? How would you feel if your kids came home with tattoos?
That was going to be my question to you guys. I don't know. It depends on age, and because these kids, if they got them now, they would. Obviously they're young, but if they got them, Caden's 16, right? So if he got one now, he changes his favorite band every week. So
yeah, it's
that's
tough.
my thing. Is I would just want them to wait till they're an adult, and if it really means something to them, and they're very connected to it.
But then you got somebody like Brian, who his younger son, amazing musician, right? And he's got a little musician vibe about him.
Yeah.
Right? He shows up at the house and his hair is like, he's just got this you look at him and you go, that dude either smokes pot or plays an instrument or both. Right? So if he were to get a tattoo versus Brian's older son, it would be more fitting. Does that make sense? Like you would go, I can see why Grandma or Colin has a tattoo.
Yeah.
Like
Between them, Colin would be the one to do.
Yeah.
How would you feel about it?
Once, like your dad,
You're 18. You want to go? Yeah.
You're an adult. Your decision.
Now, would you be okay if he did an Oilers hockey tattoo?
Okay, no, but what I want to know is, Rick, how would you feel if Gigi said she wanted a tattoo?
On her vag.
Stop. I was asking a legit question.
It depends where and of what.
But no. Okay, wait a
Interesting.
minute. Like fucking Rick even has a choice in the matter. Like if Gigi was like, I'm getting a tattoo, it's not like Rick's gonna be like, no, you're not. You're not allowed to do that. Like,
Here's my list of what you can get.
yeah, here's my list of what you can get because I'm a fucking man.
What would you say what would you do if I said I wanted a tattoo? What would you do if you came home off the road and I had a tattoo?
I wouldn't care. I did make you cry that one time when I came home and you didn't know I was getting a tattoo.
I did. I got really emotional. I forget what it
She's
was.
like, why would
Did
you
we
so
have kids
stupid?
yet? Did we have kids yet? I don't think we had
didn't have
kids yet.
yeah.
But you came off the road. Which one was that? I don't remember.
It was the one right here on the side.
Oh, that's right. And I said it looked like a cock and balls. Why did you do that? And I said, why would you do that to your body? I said, it looks like a prison tattoo that everyone else has.
I mean, if I came home and you had a tattoo, Renee, you're a smart girl and you're a grown up and it wouldn't bother me. Yep.
It wouldn't bother you if she got, let's say, a portrait of Garrett on her neck.
I would be like, that is not the woman I married. that is not
She
somebody
must be
that
having a midlife crisis.
Somebody that makes decisions like that, I probably should not have married.
But does matter what and where.
Oh, sure. Yeah. I mean, I think Renee would be very upset if I put something on my face, right? I mean,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
But she also knows I'm not the kind of guy that would do that. I mean, I'm gonna do one more on this side or this side. I'm gonna put a Dia de los Muertos. A what?
A Ford logo?
Oh no. Then this whole side would never work.
No, you.
You have to get it fixed over.
Yeah, I'm always at the shop, like at the doctor.
Replacement.
No, we I'm gonna get a Dia de los Muertos skeleton of me and Renee getting married, like a wedding, and then I'm gonna put the two kids as Dia de los Muertos with a big beautiful background. Is where my head is on that one.
You've mentioned that to me before. And I'm okay with that. I just, of course, like, because I'm very particular aesthetically, I just want to make sure that it's a particular artist.
But because we have that's the thing.
It has to be the right artist that does
Um,
those kind of images in a style that you like,
but
we like.
But I'm also one of these guys that which trips people out because it's gonna be a big piece. All my stuff is big. I do it in one sitting. And a lot of people do like a piece, then it heals, they come back, they do another piece, and I'm like, look, I just want it done. And it doesn't hurt.
Yeah.
It gets a little annoying, but it doesn't hurt. And I know for some people it hurts. And for me it just doesn't. I have a high pain tolerance, you know.
Yeah.
Last question, and we gotta start wrapping it up.
I hear Delilah's little voice out there.
Let's go with. Do your kids have any YouTube stars that they follow, and what kind of content is it?
Delilah, no. Obviously, she's little. She's not into YouTube.
Garrett did, but now all his YouTube is baseball.
It was Mr. Beast for a while. Was like the only kind of thing. And then the Mr. Beast, Dude Perfect.
Oh yeah, he likes the sports
and,
stuff.
Where the Dude Perfect, the bottle flipping, he would watch bottle flipping videos. He went through a bottle flipping phase that was really annoying because I just heard that sound constantly of crunching water bottles.
But now he's so focused on baseball. I mean, every YouTube search is like best plays of 1998, and I mean, it's unbelievable. The obsession that this boy has for
this
baseball.
weekend, it was so cute. So I knew we had the party, so had the party coming up, and it was going to be a crazy weekend. So I pulled all the patio cushions off the patio, and I was like washing them, and I didn't want to put them back out until the party, so they'd stay clean. So I had them in the house. Well, he was using them as bases, and we have a long hallway that goes
practicing
here
sliding,
from the kitchen to the podcast studio, and he was practicing. There's like a swimmer slide, and then I forget what the other slide is, and he's running down. He puts on his baseball pants, and he's running down the hall practicing these slides and sliding on the seat cushions down the hallway, and he has me pretending to tag him.
He told me, he goes,
and him dodging
Dad,
my
me and Mom
tag.
were practicing the hall, and did you see my slide? And the practice helped, Dad.
Yeah,
and,
he's like, practicing the slide. It worked. I
he
used
goes,
it in
it
the
worked.
game.
I used it in the game, and and then there's
But he watches videos of that on YouTube.
oh, that's all he does,
That's
like
where
how
he
to
gets it
slide and
from.
what and there's this one pro, I think it's for the Dodgers. There's a famous slide where he slides and kind of does like this thing where he ends up and turns completely around. So Garrett's been trying it in the games. He's almost got it, but I mean, he's like all about it. So it's been fun to see that his love and obsession for something, and again, one of my big concerns with baseball is we don't want to burn him out.
Yeah,
and we don't want to force him to do something that is just where he feels like it's a job.
Oh, last night I had a really great chat with his coach about burnout.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're like, we're not playing summer ball because it's like, dude, you don't need to play summer ball, dude. Like, I want you to miss it.
Yeah.
I want you to want to play. I want you to want, and I have friends that, their kids are quitting, and they don't want to play anymore. And the number one answer is it's not fun anymore.
The pressure.
It's not fun anymore.
Yeah.
Right. So as soon as it's not fun, it's scary.
Yeah.
Right. So I gotta make sure that we're growing baseball for Garrett at the right level, around the right people, and focusing on fun.
Yeah.
enjoying the game, right? And we're lucky the coaches we have are not like, when we lose, the coaches aren't like, oh my God, you losers, I can't believe we lost. They're just like, hey, we got to keep working, guys, and hey, y'all played well, or you didn't play well, or whatever, and let's go on. So we shall see. But we are over time. I think we'll record another one this week, Rick, if that's possible. So that
anything's possible in this world.
That's right, buddy.
Put it in the can.
Believe it can happen. Sponsors, we got to give it up to Aztec Chevrolet, our friends at Coastal Bend Auto Group. They're always so good to us. The best, anything domestic, you can buy it from Coastal Bend Auto Group.
If people want to find them and they Google search Aztec Auto Group,
Chevrolet,
will Coastal Bend Auto Group still?
I think so.
Show up?
I think so.
And I think sure we're giving them the right information.
And then, of course, pick Cherries. So please download the app. Fun app. Rao Western Wear. Big things coming, guys. I got some announcements for that one. Super excited about what's happening and how things are moving with Rao. We did have an issue, and I want to sincerely apologize, and it wasn't our fault. Some of the new shirts, the buttons are breaking. Not our fault, manufacturing deal. Yeah. So if that happened to you, please understand that we will make you right. We'll take care of you, and we're very, very apologetic that is happening. But keep in mind, because we are a mom and pop, it is going to take time. So I do want to throw that out there. Our friends at Rebecca Creek have been so good to us. Old Salt Coffee, always delicious. Today I grabbed a Red Bull real quick because there was no coffee made for me.
That is not true. I made a pot. It's just Betty and I might have drank it all, but there was a pot in there. I'm drinking it.
Oh,
I got it.
Trevino 10 on that. Rick, we love you, buddy, and thank you so much. And to all the men and women who continue to support us, thank you so very much. And we do ask that you tell people about the Stephen Captain Evil podcast. You share. And send in your questions.
Yeah.
Send in your questions that
you
want.
Tell us in the comments. I'm trying to be better about responding to the comments. It might take me a day or two, but I'm trying to be better about
a lot of people. Somebody said I was manopausal in the last episode.
Yeah. I've never heard that phrase. I don't know how I've never heard that phrase. It's
I was so manopausal.
Why did they say that?
They said I was complaining about you being late or whatever, and I was like, damn.
That you're going through menopause?
Yeah, that I'm manopausal. So I thought that was...
That's really cute.
And somebody else was like, well, I do have to agree with Steve, which was a male. And all the women were like, oh, he's manopausal. How dare he call her out for something she did wrong? How dare he?
Okay, till next time, folks.
Love you guys. Bye.